This is a really special one this evening. First of all, I've got one of my favorite people here, Angela Fischetti, our workout coach, as I call her, from Boomer and Beyond Wellness. She is blessing us with a big announcement this evening that we're going to get to before the yoga class, so you don't even have to stay for the whole time. We're not one of those type of channels like, those leave you hanging for the whole thing to get the end of it, right? And if you don't know who she is a massage therapist, educator, workout coach. Oh my gosh, I can't even think of all the stuff. I'll let her tell her whole entire bio. She works with the Boomer and Beyond, so she definitely can help you no matter what you have going on. She'll help you figure out how you can get a workout in, and not what you can't do, what you can do, which is what I love about that. So if you think you have limitations, trust me, she's gotten us old ladies over here going and working out somehow, so you can do it. And what else do you do, Angela? Tell me again. I know you have your YouTube channel. Make sure we get her to 500 subscribers tonight. We only need 300 more, right? Or so?
We need 290 more now. No, 289 more.
We got it. We're gonna do it tonight. I feel it.
Do it. Awesome. Thank you. Yes, officially, technically, my work is as a senior fitness consultant. I'm a personal trainer for those 50 years and above, and also a group fitness instructor. But I don't really do that. I do it though from a virtual perspective. I shouldn't say that. I don't do the work live. I do it all virtually. And I also, if you have anything, if I lag, it might be because I have it on high definition. So let me know if you find me lagging. We might have to bring down my quality of the definition.
Okay, I think
All right.
you look pretty good, and our co-host Dawn
Okay.
just messaged she'll be here shortly too.
Awesome. Thank you. And so I'm also, like you mentioned, a licensed massage therapist, and I have a specialty in geriatric massage. And also, I'm a hatha yoga instructor. I do this remotely as well. And the opposite end of the spectrum, I also am certified as a prenatal yoga instructor. So I offer those services virtually as well. But of course, the massage therapy has to be on site in Miami Beach, local to me. So thank you. That's very nice of you. So I have, should we go into the announcement?
I think why not? We'll do it. I think we'll go into, like, I could just talk to you all night, and I think last time I found out how you became vegan and all kinds of stuff and how you became an instructor. But this is exciting. We know people are here for the announcement, so we'll get it.
Thank you. And part of, you'll hear a little bit of that stuff because of what I'm about to say. So and I didn't even tell you, I actually have a second announcement tonight.
Even a surprise for me, the host.
A surprise for you. Okay. So I I've been at this lifestyle since 1987, and I'm going to be 66 years old. And so I became a personal trainer who specialized in my demographic, right? Because I am my demographic now, in 1990. And so it was very unusual in 1990 to have a female personal trainer. It was all men, all right? I mean the big guys, the guys who, the juice and all that. And also at the time, that's when I was already vegan. So here I was, a female personal trainer and a vegan. And man, did I stick out, but not in a positive way, because I was a brunt of a lot of jokes. I was a brunt, frankly, of harassment from some people. And now 30 something years later, I'm like, wow, it's kind of hip now to be doing this stuff, right?
Right.
So I want to give a shout out to Chef AJ, because she had me on her show.
I love Chef AJ.
Hello, we love Chef AJ. And she had me on her show September 2022. And the presentation I did there was on osteoporosis, but it was about my personal anecdotal workout. It was one of my many workouts that helped me downgrade an osteoporosis diagnosis at the age of 60. I downgraded it, and it took 3 years, and at 63 was told it's age appropriate osteopenia. And so it was a number of things that I did, right? You can never know, because when you choose lifestyle alternatives, you're not going to be able to track precisely what it was specifically. I can say, what did I do differently? I followed Chef AJ's protocol with food. Sofas free, no salt, oil, flour, alcohol, nor sugar. I still do this. I ramped up the weightlifting. I ramped up the rebounding. I ramped up the many, many minerals from the dark green leaves. So you tell me which one it is, right? And all the doctors said to me, you just better keep on doing what you're doing because you created your own protocol. So she had me on, and I presented one of the workouts. Okay, here we go. Now in, I think it was August or September, late August or sometime early September of this year, Chef AJ's platform changed. So now she has a lot of medical doctors on, right? So, every day is like another medical doctor, but they have their own preset time slot. So I didn't watch on this particular day, and I got an email from a friend of mine who is in a whole food plant-based platform called Feel Fabulous Over 40. I am the strength training and yoga video provider and monthly live Zoom instructor of strength training for this platform. However, I began that as a member for a whole year until the producer, Tobias, of Better Life Summits, which is a vegan virtual production company, he contacted me and said, I think we'd like you to work for us. And I was like, okay.
Oh goodness, right?
Yeah, so here's a platform that is helping people transition from the standard American diet to whole food plant-based, whole food plant exclusive, and then bringing in one of the lifestyle pillars of exercise to the platform. And then I also do the same. I'm a provider for Timmery Hagenberger, and she's a registered dietitian nutritionist, whole food plant-based all the way, baby.
That
And
is
her
cool.
her platform is the Foodie Bar Way of Life. So I do the same there. So, this is incredible for me. So
It,
this friend,
I'm
so go
so
ahead.
happy. Like after all the time you were like what you mentioned,
An
feeling,
outcast,
yeah.
really, an outcast.
And you're
Okay.
kind of it reminds me of something that you found like the perfect place to be because you can help so many people that are already coming for that help, and you're like the expert that they need. And the fact that he had enough credit, you had the credibility to offer you that position, that is, or to put you in that position, that is just amazing. And I
Yeah.
couldn't
I
think
mean,
of anybody better.
it is. Thank you so much for that. It's really quite incredible. However, this email from this friend of mine from Feel Fabulous Over 40 said, did you see the show today with Dr. Scott Harrington? And I know that he's a Florida-based vegan doctor, medical doctor. And I was like, no. And she said, well, you got several shout outs on the show.
Wow.
So I'm like, really? I don't know. So I go to watch one of the replays. And then at one point, because his presentation was about osteoporosis, and he got to the point where he was emphasizing strength training with a trainer. And the next thing I see is the thumbnail from my episode with Chef AJ on the screen. And
What?
I know, and I'm like, what? And he starts saying quite lovely things about my work and what I was able to achieve for myself with my own health journey. And I will be absolutely honest with you, JJ. I burst out crying. I was just like,
Oh,
oh my goodness gracious.
right.
you
Like,
know, and then JJ, then shortly thereafter, and I know you know him, Dr. Akil Taher. He's also with We Did It Health.
mhm.
He gave me another major shout out, and not only did he do this for me, he wrote me a letter of recommendation.
Wow.
So I know. And so what I did was I said, all right, I really have to try something here because I had to follow my gut instinct. Dr. Scott Harrington is at least a couple of decades younger than I am. And my feeling about him was he's so dedicated to this diet lifestyle journey. I just thought there's got to be a platform in him. I just know it. So what I did is I wrote him, thanked him profusely for, doing what he did. And then Chef AJ, she went right with it. She posted the link to that appearance, not in the chat, but right in the show notes, so this
Wow. So anybody that goes there gets it.
exactly. So, big shout out to her, and I have to let her know that this is going on now. And so I heard from him. Well, I'm sorry. What I presented with Dr. Harrington said, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I sent him my letter of recommendation from Dr. Taher, and I said, if you're ever thinking about a private platform, and I know you understand the importance of strength training, would you consider my work? And I sent him a few of the videos, and I didn't hear from him. It was about a week, and I just thought, oh, well, but I tried, right? I heard from him, and man, was he interested. And
Nice.
that week, we had a Zoom session. It was at least an hour and a half long. We were just like tossing the ideas out.
Wow.
As of today, it is official. We are going to be up and running our first program with Dr. Scott Harrington. He is known as veganprimarycare.com/weight loss. He's having 4 6-week programs a year, beginning the first one January 29th of 2024. And I will be presenting weekly live Zoom strength training classes per 6-week round, and one kind of like to introduce us to each other, to his members and his patients, a live Q&A, one per 6-week session. So
awesome.
and it's up and running. Thank you very much. We're breaking the news here. And thank you for his agreeing to put his website with the primaryvegancare.com/weight loss up there. It's just amazing, and that's just the direction that my work is really going more and more so. And I'm just so grateful.
Yes.
And and so please, people, check him out because
Yes, go there.
he has fantastic webinars online, and he's on Chef AJ Monthly. Check him out. He's the real deal, and it's so beautiful to see. And so it's very exciting.
She's causing all kinds of excitement. We got fire engines and sirens for her.
All
There's
kinds of
rain
things
outside
going
going on.
All kinds of things. And then the other thing I wanted to quick tell you was I have, as of hopefully tonight, when we're done, I'm going to, I have a new addition for my YouTube channel. And there's going to be a separate area called Have It Your Way Workout. And what this is going to be, basically, it's inspired by those with chronic conditions. So it's kind of like I'm dedicating it as a chronic conditions corner. And the Have It Your Way workout will be one exercise only per video. And I'm going to break it down with 3 approaches. The first approach is for those with the chronic concerns. You know how I mention this in each, in all of my work. So those with the chronic concerns, 5 repetitions of no equipment We're going to wind up getting in one set. A set is a group of repetitions for 15 repetitions. The second group of 5 repetitions will be for those who they may not like weights. They may like access to bands and tubes. So I'm going to show that same exercise, 5 reps with the bands, tubes, whatever. And then the third way, the last 5, will be the demonstration with the dumbbells, because that's my heart and soul, right? And so we'll be taking care of those with chronic concerns. We'll be taking care of those new to exercise and new to strength training. But if you're seasoned, you get a real nice review of the form and the technique. And I'm going to be, basically these videos will be about 15 minutes long, not because of the actual exercise work, but I'm going to do a dive into the anatomy each time of what we're working. And then in the community tab of my YouTube channel, I'll be providing studies, articles, graphic images of the muscles, where they're located on the body when you're actually executing the exercise. So that I'm really thrilled. And therefore, I will be offering that service on my website underneath my services tab, where people can hire me for 10 minutes to work on one exercise. Don't come to me and think, oh, I'm going to work for 10 minutes. I'm going to get a lot of done. No, you're not. You're going to get one exercise done, because we're going to make sure you know how to do it. And when you have to make sure it's appropriate to you and your particular situation in the moment in time. So those are the 2 announcements we have here for you tonight. And I appreciate your time with letting me do this, JJ. And Dawn, thank you so much.
You have a little someone here, Flo Mar, and yep, he is my doctor. Hi,
yes,
Florence. Hey, Florence, welcome in. And she said, "Woohoo! 2 of my favorite people." And he also has a Tuesday night Zoom for his clients that I attend weekly. That is excellent. See, thank you for coming, Florence, and for being here and hearing this announcement. We're so excited.
She is the one.
I know.
She is the one who turned me on to him. Florence. Wow. Yes. Originally, even before he was on the show, she turned me on to him. So thank you, Florence.
Isn't it funny how these things happen and little things, come into our life and we don't even know how it will affect things. And I really commend you, because if you don't try like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if this person will want to be on my show, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it anyway. And I actually get a yes sometimes. Like I did that with you. I was like, I don't know if she'd want to be on there. And you were like, and look, now we have like a regular thing going, right? And
I love it.
Announcement, and
love it.
So I think, I don't know what's going on out there, but of course this would be sirens. There hasn't been any all day, just now when we're having
it happens. It happens.
So that's why we're live, right? We don't know, right?
Look at what you
I'm
achieved.
So happy for you, because you're such a kind person. You've helped me like so much, and you're always trying to help all of us, improve and get our channels built up. And I'm glad that you got this success that came to you. I know you don't do it to get things, but I feel like all that work that you've done over the years to help people and to help elderly, and it's just kind of like it's time for you to enjoy what you do and really have some support behind you. So I'm really happy for you.
Thank you so much. That's very beautifully put. Thank you. And let's not forget what you achieved recently, getting Dr. Joel Furman on your show. That is pretty awesome.
I was really happy about that. And I really, I'm thankful and that was one of those names I was like, there is no way this guy's going to write me and say yes. And he said, hey, contact my agent. I'd be happy to. And it really shows you the heart of a lot of the vegan community. They don't care. You can tell when they don't care about the size of your page. They want to help as many people as they can with their message. And I really appreciate those who are doing that, and how we're all, just kind of doing this from our heart and wanting people to feel healthy and save, animals and help the planet. And in the process, we're helping, each other too. Florence said, JJ, I met you in Mariquita's program, right? And we're friends now on Facebook.
Yeah,
I remember. And she said, I'm still at the office designing Tampa Bay Veg Fest signs while listening to you guys. Cool. Tampa. I want to go to one of these. I've never been to a Veg Fest. I'll have to figure out how to do that one of these days. Tampa is really cool.
She's a driving force behind that Veg Fest, by the way. A driving force there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is so important to get those events that gather people. And especially they bring a lot of people who aren't even vegan and show them what it's all about. And then I love that too. It's a lot of fun, it seems like. I see all these veg fests. Is there a fruit fest too, I think?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I see all kinds of things though when I'm on YouTube and I'm like, that looks so fun.
Yeah.
So what here comes Dawn, she just said. So I know she wants to come in and congratulate you. I'm not gonna believe her when she says 7 next time. I'm gonna make it 7:30 anyway. But we are really happy for you, and I know you had 2 announcements, not just one, and that sounds like a really cool thing. It's like the Burger King of working out. Have it your way, right?
Yes. Have it your way workout. So
I love it. I definitely need that. And
what's going to happen with that, to just elaborate slightly more upon that, is that basically it's going to wind up where we have, let's say, a lot of bicep exercise, a lot of tricep, a lot of glutes, whatever, right? And this way, a person who is a little concerned or worried or nervous, about approaching the work, they really have an opportunity to break something down. And then with a bit of self-confidence, right, just because of time and doing, they can create their own personalized exercise protocol of exercises that don't hurt them.
Right, because that's why a lot of people stop.
Message. Right? That's my biggest message, is because I've got to get through to people who have chronic concerns to understand you can exercise, but because there are so many outside forces talking about you shouldn't, you should be afraid. Well, that is just victim mentality. And if you just try one, you'll see that, that can lead me to another exercise and then another, but just done in a slightly different way. I do 35, 45-hour workouts on my YouTube channel. Not everybody can do that. Okay. And I want them, though, to be able to come from the place of, but I'm going to build myself up. I just have to do it one step at a time. So that's what we're going to try to do here with this new part of the YouTube channel.
I know what I was going to say, too, is, it reminds me of how they try to scare people about food, good food for them sometimes, like, you shouldn't eat too much of this or too much fruit or too many greens, or instead of what you should be eating it. It's like the same with people working out, like, don't do that, don't lift that. And, there is a certain amount, but if they come to someone like you who's an expert and can kind of identify what condition they have and tell them what they can do, it really can make a difference in someone's life, because everybody else is telling them they can't. I do feel like that.
I think that it's not so much me telling them what they can do. They discover what they can do.
Nice.
Because if it's presented to them in a workable way, in a way that works for them individually, they discover, I can do that. Okay, great, let's do it. But you won't know unless you try. And you don't have to get hurt in the process of discovering I can't do that. No, your body is immediate. It's immediate. It'll tell you something. But there is a difference between efforting, muscular efforting, what I call an acceptable level of muscular discomfort,
right,
versus pain. There is a marked difference there. And just sometimes it might take them a little time to discern the difference. And I have to have patience with that, because I'm not walking in their fear. So, and that's very real. So that does have to be addressed, right? So I'm like, listen, there's nothing that this is going to harm, right? I just feel like we need this out there in the market, in my field, to just say, okay, try that. Just try that one exercise. Try that one and see what you think. you
That's a
know?
really good idea, and I like what you said
Thanks.
because you can't make something change without a little bit of, I guess, discomfort. Like you're not going to do something that you've never done in 30 years and do it and expect to not feel any difference, but you shouldn't be, like you said, there's a certain extent. That I like the way you put that because I feel like, for myself, I was talking to you about that before with my back, that I'm afraid to lift too much, but we can talk about that offline and see what I can lift, though I shouldn't be not lifting anything because I think, oh, I can't do it, right? So
Right.
that's cool. And like the same with I know I did like some working out, just walking, that I hadn't done in a while. And you feel like you feel a good kind of, what's that they say, like a good kind of pain. I don't know what you call it. Like you feel like you've worked out.
Yeah, yeah, it is like an endorphin rush.
Did some sit-ups, and I did more than the one I do when I get up out of bed. That's my one sit-up I do a day, right? I'm just kidding. Oh, cool. Florence said they're in the top 10 veg fest in the nation. Come on over and I have a messy guest room. Oh, thank
Ah, that
you.
sounds wonderful. That sounds
I
wonderful.
wouldn't even care
Wow,
if it was messy, right? You should
that's
see.
beautiful.
Angela always sees me straightening up right when I come on here, right? Oh, and then I wanted to say we're going to have that link in there after because this is so new that we couldn't even put the link for Dr. Harrington in until like after the show was over. So that's how like new this is, and like we're getting the news. We're like CNN over here right now.
Angela,
Hey,
what's going
girl,
on?
how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. I mean, things are good. Thank you so very much. I
So
appreciate.
what was the big news?
You are
Okay,
late to the party, girl. But let's say it again in case people are just joining.
absolutely, because that's just wonderful. Thank you for asking. To put it, the short version, okay, is a medical doctor by the name of Dr. Scott Harrington saw my work that I had done back in September 2022. So, as a podcast show host, you need to
Okay.
understand the value of replays, okay? He
Right.
saw my work in from September 2022 on Chef AJ's platform, and I presented one of my anecdotal approaches from workouts to help me downgrade from osteoporosis to osteopenia. And he saw this, I guess it was August or September, and he has a monthly slot on her show. So he was presenting his webinar about osteoporosis. I get a
Right.
call from a friend, and I mean, an email technically from a mutual friend of Florence and mine, Susanna Florence, was the one who
Right.
told me that Dr. Scott Harrington was on that day. And she said, "Did you see it?" And I said, "No." Well, he gave you several shout outs.
Okay,
And
cool.
yeah, so
Nice.
what he did is he took the thumbnail from my appearance on Chef AJ Live and he put it on camera again on Chef AJ, but now this year later, and he was talking about me and my work. And because he was telling the audience that it's imperative when you have osteoporosis, you need to work with a personal trainer who understands this approach. And
Good for you.
okay, thank you.
There's more.
And so when I found out and I saw it and I cried like a little baby, and
Exciting.
I did, girl, I did. And I wrote him, thanked him, and then presented the idea of because he's a good solid 20 years younger than I am. And this man is so passionate. I mean,
Yeah.
the name of his company is Vegan Primary Care. Got it? So, I mean, he's so
Nice.
about it. So I said, he's going to have a platform. I know he is. And well, I wrote him and I thanked him and then said, if you ever want to work together, I would love to be either a video provider of strength training or yoga videos or live Zoom classes for your platform. Heard from him a week later. He said, I want to meet. I want to discuss this idea. We met on
Wow.
Yep, we had our Zoom meeting, and now starting January 29th, 2024, we have the veganprimarycare.com/weight loss program. It's going to be done 4 times a year for 6-week sessions. I will be teaching live Zoom strength training classes every week of each session, and then he'll bring.
Woo!
Thank you. And he's going to bring me in.
Yes.
He's going to bring me in for a 7th video appearance by way of the beginning of each 6-week program. There'll be like a live Q&A for the members and patients. So
Right.
this is what came out of this whole thing. And you had better believe I'll be
You
contacting.
got to get the bell going for that. Good job, baby.
We already had fire trucks coming by for it.
That is
Welcome
awesome,
in,
Angela.
Sarah. Thank you for joining.
You
Thank
deserve
you
it.
for joining for the yoga session and
Sarah,
big news. And
what's up, honey?
there was another announcement too, Dawn. And we're not even putting the link until after the show, because we weren't even allowed to announce it until today. She couldn't even put it out there. That's how new this is.
Wow.
Because
Well, I'm so
his
proud,
webpage
Angela. That is so awesome, honey.
Thank
You
you.
deserve it. You do good work, and it deserves to be recognized. So I'm glad that's happening for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And
Yeah, man.
wonderful. So again, my heartfelt thanks. I so appreciate it all.
Thank you, Florence, for introducing
Definitely.
her a long time ago to Dr. Harrington, and Harrington for doing this for Angela.
That's
and
how
Angela
it works.
for having it our way with your new workout plan too. Don't forget that she's gonna.
Yes,
And you pay it forward with trying to help people get the word out. I know you've done so much to help Jen try to get
That's
the word
what I
out for her
said.
channel.
I'm
So
really
karma.
thank you so much. I mean, you know, my feeling is this: I don't have the money to like purchase stuff for people and sign up on all the platforms to support them. The different people who have had me on their shows, right?
Right.
One thing I can do is put my time and attention into promoting them, because that's what you do.
Yep.
You have
Yep.
to say thanks in some way. This has to be back and forth in some way. So if it's a trade of services, whatever it might be, but it has to be something to be able to, for everybody to be able to you know, survive with all of this. Because let's face it, what we do, putting out content on a regular basis, just say it's costly. It's
Yeah.
costly.
Yeah. Shout out to American Dream Trading. That's how I ended up getting you know, into one of the VIP memberships, because I could do video editing. So I was doing a lot of that for Coach for, you know, absolutely no charge, because I love the organization and the community over there and him and what he was doing and providing and the skill that I was learning. So I'm like, what can I do to give? You know, to show my appreciation, because I can't purchase that membership as much as I would love to. And he ends up, because of all the video work that I had just thrown his way, just gave it to me. So he gifted it to me.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? And I just continue to, and now he's, the same thing has kind of happened. He's now put me on his payroll as a influencer on his channel and a videographer, and just to keep doing the same thing I'm doing. But now he's giving me a few dollars a week to do it. So I'm like, not only did we need that, but that was, I mean, when you have it to give, it comes back. Don't worry about getting paid up front. You know what I mean? It'll come. If you're doing good work, which you are, it will come, you know? So you deserve it. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. And
It's like couldn't happen to a better person, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Both of you as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Florence said, this is exciting 2024 with Dr. Harrington. Yeah, and I can't wait to,
Yeah.
I started yesterday and I was so busy today. And then when I finished work, I wanted to promote this coming on. So I didn't get a chance to, but I really want to like binge him and see all his work and Zoom.
Yeah, let's watch his stuff, you know. And then
I think it's amazing what you were telling me, that he's basically trying to help vegan, you know, vegan primary care. Making the name vegan in it is a big thing in itself, because not a lot of
that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. So it's exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So do you want to start doing the yoga?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
I guess. Thank you for the conversation. I know we always say that we could forget the workout, but we got to get our workout in, right? I don't think Angela would feel comfortable coming on for an hour without getting some kind of strength for us in.
Well,
tonight's class is yoga, right? Restorative yoga. This is the one we should do it at our sleepy time, right?
Sleepy time, getting ready to go to sleep. It's really nice to do this practice. So what I'm going
to do, need that.
Yeah, I'm going to get into that in a moment. I'm just going to put my chair away here, because I'm going to go right to the floor, then get set up, and then have you manipulate whatever you can with the screen for me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for showing us this.
Where's your veggies, Jen? The background, you don't know?
I didn't have my co-host here with all those frills. I didn't know what I'm doing. My last couple of videos have been really boring. They just had black background in them. I'm going to do this, Dawn. I think, to make her big like we did last time, should I leave?
Actually, you know what? Let's see something. Let's play with these.
Yeah, because I tried that. I think because I came in first, I'm always the big square.
Okay.
Oh, wait. She's in the middle now.
Oh,
No.
Yeah,
I think maybe
we got to leave and come in again, I think.
Yeah. For her
Okay.
to get the big
Is
square.
that okay with the both of you?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
Thank you.
You're the star of this show. We're getting out of here.
We're getting out of here.
Yeah, let's do it one at a time. Actually, I don't need to go. You can go, Jen, because you came in first.
And what do I just go, like, hit the back?
Yeah, click that back button. Can you see my cursor thingy? No. Just hit the right over top of my picture. I think is the backwards arrow.
Oh, yeah, okay. I see it.
Click that and then just re-enter the studio.
I just didn't want to end the stream.
Yeah, no, don't hit that.
Oh, it said leave site. Changes may not be saved. I don't think that's
no. Hit it's just a hold on.
Come on over. I forgot we're in the same place here.
Yep.
All live. Look at this. I'm learning something.
That's pretty cool. See that arrow?
This one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's when it said leave site, changes you made. It's okay to leave it.
Hit yes, and then.
Do you really want all that flashing light?
Who, on mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can take that off. But
okay,
hit yes,
you.
And then just re-enter.
Hit leave.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then re-enter.
Okay.
Re-enter right there. There you go.
Okay.
There's some sound issue.
That was because I was in there with my
okay, gotcha. So is there any chance, Dawn, that it could be even larger? Because what's going to happen here is I'm going to be my body parts are going to be cut off here. Yeah, that's great, girl. That is super great. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Are you comfortable with that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So I'm going to get started over here now, if I might. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to set up a yoga block here, and I'm going to be sitting on it. And by the way, it's a neat little trick for those who might have some knee issues. I'm going to come a little closer. Okay. So I want to welcome everybody to Vegan Knowledge and Restorative Yoga Sleepy Time Restorative Yoga. I'm Angela Fischetti with Boomer and Beyond Wellness. And the accessories we're going to be using today will be a sticky yoga mat. You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm just playing with it just to see if we can get out of the thing, because I don't want to see what's happening right there.
Well,
we're in the picture with you.
Could you bring one on top of the other, maybe?
It'll do this. Is that okay?
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, or we can be under you, but that that means see here with us in picture.
Right.
It's the biggest size, which is cool, but we're in the picture. We may cut you off. So if we go under it, it's still the biggest picture. So they should be able to see you, and we're not taking up any of the screen.
Okay. Look, that's good with me. Whatever works.
And if it's cut off, then we'll just go to the other one.
Okay, no problem. All right.
Let us know if you guys can see okay, those in the chat.
Yeah, if she's cut off, let us know. We'll switch it. Okay, Angela, let's do it.
Right now, I won't be cut off. I'm just when we're going more into the practice, we'll just see what happens. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you. And okay, so The accessories we're going to be using today here in restorative yoga are a sticky yoga mat, a yoga bolster. Now, mind you, it doesn't have to be a bolster. It can be a DIY where you have a couple of big, like beach towels, bath towels, and you roll them up and you secure them with like big rubber bands or something. So you don't have to invest in a big yoga bolster. Also, we'll be using yoga blocks. And for those of you who are new to yoga or new to the blocks, this is level 1, this is level 2, and this is level 3. I'm sitting on my block level 1. And also a yoga strap. And the reason why I like yoga straps as opposed to just a belt, because a lot of people in the aging process, the hands get all kinds of issues. It could be arthritic hands, it could be Dupuytren's contracture, it could be trigger fingers. So I like a yoga strap because it's 6 to 8 feet long and it's nice and soft, very gentle to the hands. And then also I have out 2 hand towels folded up. Now, in particular, for those of you who are medicated or not for hypertension, have GERD or vertigo, when you're lying supine, which is face up, I want your head to be slightly elevated so you can use the towel for that. And also, for some with knee issues, using the towel for support there as well will be helpful. And then finally, I have a cushion. You could have a pillow. And so that's the accessories we'll be using today. Now, this leads me into precautionary measures and medical disclaimers. So the yoga mat, they are typically made from some amount of latex. So if you have a latex allergy, you want to look for latex-free or non-latex. Also, if you have any back spine issues whatsoever, in particular, if you've been told not to bend down, like to forward flex the spine, and if you've also been told not to do a twist, well, I understand these issues. However, when it comes to a twist, this is a functional movement. It's part of activities of daily living. So if you go to, let's say you're just sitting at your kitchen table and you're just kind of passing off and grabbing condiments, you're twisting. And if you're manually washing dishes in your kitchen sink and you go to place them in the drain, then yeah, that's a little bit of a twist. So you want to be very careful with any of the twisting movements I do here. In particular, we're going to talk about osteoporosis for the forward flexion and the twisting. But you know what? It's not exclusive to osteoporosis either. Also, if you are medicated or not for hypertension, you have vertigo or GERD, postural deviations like hyperkyphosis. This is the one where you sit slightly hunched, right? That too might not like forward flexion or very much twisting. Also, knee issues. As I discussed, we could use the towel for support for you. Pinched nerve at the neck, rotator cuff muscle issues deep to the shoulders. If you have carpal tunnel syndrome, this hand position will be absolute contraindication for you. So this is a wrist extension. Doesn't matter the position of the arm and forearm, it's the wrist. So this is contraindicated. I'll show you another way how to do some of the postures without jeopardizing your wrist. And finally, if you've ever had a TIA, a transient ischemic attack, or a stroke, be very careful with doing this kind of stuff and really dropping your head back into like a hyper extension of the neck. I want you folks just to focus on keeping the head, neck neutral. So I'm going to invite all of you to not participate immediately in the class. However, I would hope that you preview the video first and look for what you can do, because we're really good when we have long-term chronic conditions at knowing what we can't do. And that's great It's being self-protective. It's being smart. However, what I find from many people over time is that they start to get this way with their tunnel vision about, I can't, I can't, I can't. So now I'm going to ask you, open, broaden your perspective and look for what you can do. I promise you, it will be here. And yeah, and now if you decide that I'm not too sure after previewing the video, then invite the medical healthcare practitioner who knows your body best to preview the video as well, and then help you make an informed decision. So I just wanted to talk for a moment about just a little bit of what goes on in the body with restorative yoga. So in general, this type of yoga activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, the parasympathetic nervous system is also known as rest and repair, but it's also known as rest and digest. And this gives me a little bit more information about the connection between the gut and brain, and it has to do with the microbiome. So the microbiome, both areas, they're talking with each other. I've also been asked by quite a number of people who watch my videos, etc., especially females who have sleep issues, in particular insomnia, oftentimes due to certain menstrual changes, hormonal changes. So I would ask you to give this particular approach to yoga a try. Restorative yoga is all about using the props. But you should know that yoga itself actually is covered, it is a part of ACLM, the American College of Lifestyle Medicine's 6 pillars of health. And so we have it under the category of exercise. Now, this approach to yoga, it's not Ashtanga yoga. It's nothing like power yoga. It's nothing vigorous. But for some people, this type of yoga might actually be leveling up their activity. Also, one of the pillars of lifestyle medicine is restorative sleep. So this is what we're going to try to help you out with. And then finally, another pillar of lifestyle medicine, stress management. And we certainly know that yoga falls underneath this category. So having said all this, I'm going to invite you now to come into a seated, comfortable position. And what I'd like you to do in order to sit up tall, I'm going to just a little bit turn to the side because I think you'll get a better view. Yeah, okay. So I want you to place your hands underneath your buttock flesh. So whether you're sitting in a chair, on the floor, whatever, pull the flesh straight back, but then pull it out wide toward the shoulders, because now we're able to sit up and forward on the front edge of the ischial tuberosity, and these are referred to as your sits bones. Now let's just take a few moments to quiet ourselves. And as we sit up tall, let's have you place your right hand on top of your left with the palms up, uniting your thumb tips for one continuous line of energy throughout the body. And if you're comfortable doing so, let's have you close your eyes and just simply focus in on the sound of your breath. The breathing in yoga is done in and out through the nose. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Just taking a few moments, centering in as we let go of the stuff of the day and give ourselves permission to remain present in the moment in time through the breath and the movement of the body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And I always like to take a couple of moments to set some intentions or dedications for my personal yoga practice, and basically offer up my efforts to someone or something who could benefit from your healing, loving light of energy. So maybe it's a loved one, maybe it's someone you don't even know, but you know could use a little help this way. And plant this image in your mind's eye and call upon this image if you are presented with what you might feel is a challenging asana, a challenging posture, and then offer up your efforts to the significance of this dedication and let it carry you through your entire yoga practice and perhaps off the yoga mat throughout the rest of your day. And now let's slowly open the eyes, lower the hands down, and let's just take some nice big shoulder rolls, up, back, and down, up, back, and down, up, back, and down. So I'm going to lift off my block.
Just wanted you to know I'm still watching, Angela. I just didn't want to distract people. I just wanted all the attention on you, so I put my avatar on.
Thank you. It's a great avatar, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're going to come into a seated, wide-legged position. And why I want to do that is because it helps release the knees to open. So I'm placing my hands underneath the knees, and I'm just pushing the calf flesh toward the ankles, reopen those knees. And I was sitting there for quite some time in a hyperflexed position. So I'm going to readjust the butt flesh here. And so when we come into this seated wide angle called Upavishta Konasana, oftentimes this is what I see. I see this. People rounding, they can't hold themselves up, super tight, knees bent. So I'm going to make a suggestion if that's what's going on with any of you. You take your block, or maybe even two of them, and you sit up on the block, because the higher you are, the more gravity is going to help take you down. But because you'll be sitting higher, this is when you need to grab your towels, fold them up, and support the back of the knee joint. We don't want it just suspended in midair. We want to make sure that your knee joints, I should say, are supported. So you can try that. The other thing you can do to help you sit upright. Now, typically people kind of know that this posture is going to go into a forward bend, right? But I don't like to think about it that way because people dive down and they do this, and that doesn't help. So if you have back spine postural deviation issues, if you're medicated or not for hypertension, and if you have GERD or vertigo, the last three, please make sure you keep your head up. For postural deviations and back spine, you're going to grab your yoga strap. You're going to bring it around the balls of your feet. Now, I see this oftentimes. I should say straight arm. I see this, hunched shoulders, collapsed, and really, really extended straight elbows. But if I get you to lower down, ease up on your strap. Now pull the strap as you push out through the feet. You're going to be able to keep yourselves upright. Now we're working the bicep muscles because the elbows are flexed. They're bent. Therefore, the shoulders are down. So I want you folks to work on staying erect, staying upright. Use the strap for that. For the rest of us, what we can do is take your yoga blocks, bring them out in front. And basically what I just did was lifted the floor up, okay? And I want you to press down to lift the chest up. Now, it's important to understand that the cervical spine of the neck and the lumbar spine of the low back both have a position known as a natural lordotic curve. And this lends itself to back extension. So as I work on this forward bend, I'm thinking I'm lifting up into a low back extension so that there is back extension in my spine flexion. And I'm taking my time. Yes, at some point you're not going to see the blocks. I'm taking my time coming up and forward. I'm not diving down. I'm not rounding the spine. We're getting a nice, big, juicy stretch in your adductor muscles of your inner thighs, in your hamstring muscles, the back of the thighs, the calves, even up through the glute and back. Now, at this point, I won't be speaking because it might sound kind of garbled too close to the microphone, but I am going to lower down so you can see. And then I lift my torso forward and up to walk back in. So you see, you don't take a nose dive down. Bear with me a moment. Okay. So remember, back spine issues, go for the upright. Now I'm going to set these to the side. From here, slowly draw the legs together. That's hip adduction, by the way. Shake it all out. Windshield wiper. Now I'm going to bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet together, but look how far out in front they are, right? So I'm going to hold on to the shins. Now this is what can happen. I'm going to turn to this side because the banner won't allow you to see me too well. Here we go. A lot of people do this here. Here we go. I want you to use your muscles. Use those arm muscles. Pull yourself up. Hold here. So this is called butterfly pose. Now, oftentimes you will see people fluttering their legs. I'm not a big fan of it, folks, because it's really more of a ballistic stretch than a static stretch. However, what I do like to do is this, rocking side to side, because I'm getting right along that ischial tuberosity. The gluteals attached there, the lateral rotators, the sciatic nerve runs there. So this position is excellent for sciatic nerve as well as the sacroiliac joint at the low back and hips. Now you can choose to stay here. I prefer this for back spine and postural deviations, whereas the rest of us slide the hands underneath the ankles, grabbing the tops, the dorsal side of the feet. Inhale, lift the head and the heart, and exhale, I'm pulling forward. Oh my, this is so great on that SI joint, sacroiliac joint. Very few movements can get us to open up that joint. This is one of them. Now, if you want to lower your head, but I don't want you to dangle it down. So you can always use your block, support the forehead. So in restorative yoga, we hold postures. We don't do a whole bunch of postures. It's all about just focusing in, getting a sense of what's happening in your body. It's beautiful to help you create a sort of proprioceptive awareness. Inhale, palms down. Exhale, I'm going to slowly come back up and draw the knees together. So we went from butterfly pose into what's called diamond pose. Now re-extend the legs and push the calf flesh down toward the ankles again. Now I want to come on to all fours, but this is where carpal tunnel syndrome needs to pay attention, because I'm going to show you here what I want you to do is working with the yoga blocks. There's that wrist extension, right? So what you can do it on the blocks or on the floor. You can make a soft fist. You curl your fingers, but you don't turn your fingernails in. We don't want to cut your skin, okay? So that this way you're resting on the flat part here of the fingers. Therefore, no more wrist extension. You can do this work. So for the first part of this, this is called the cow. And the cow is a back extension. So this is what happens. I drop the belly down, tip the tailbone up. I push the ground away, push the blocks away so I don't do this stuff, and draw the heart center forward, up and back. Broaden across at the shoulders, slide those shoulder blade tips down towards your back waist, look forward and up. Who's going to keep the head neutral? Transient ischemic attack and stroke, because we don't want to drop it all the way back. Now here, those of you with back spine issues and postural deviations, you come into a flat back table, while the rest of us come into what I call an abdominal crunch on all fours. I'm going to lastly lower my head and then not speak into the microphone. And inhale, I go back into the cow. And then exhaling, spinal flexion is the cat. This one's for you, Florence. Notice how slowly I move in this practice, right? We're getting ready to go to sleep. We're going to do one more of each. Just checking my form here. And then exhale. Lastly, move the head. And then I slowly roll up. You can take a couple of shoulder rolls. Now, the next posture is referred to as closed gate pose, parigasana. It's more about lateral flexion of the spine. So I'm going to swivel my hip knee and bring my right leg out. Now notice knee, hip alignment. Notice ankle, wrist alignment. Use this hand and bring it to the underside of your left ribs. Inhale, self-adjust. Turn the ribs up. Exhale, bring that arm up and over. Now, if you have pinched nerve or rotator cuff, you may have to stay about here or hand to the waist. But if you don't have those issues, feel free to really go for this. We want to connect the energy from that right middle finger through the right big toe. Parigasana. Oh, I just got a spine adjustment. How lovely. Hips forward, torso back. And then inhale, I look down. You want to look where you're going. Exhale, lower back down. Oh, yeah. I'm going to take every chance I can, folks, to do some cat-cow. So I'm doing it here for those with carpal tunnel syndrome. One more. Now you folks can continue with your closed gate pose, but I'm going to turn to this side just so you could see it a little more clearly on the camera. Okay, I'm going to swivel, bring my leg out. Let me just go a little further forward so I don't bang into my bolster. Yeah. Okay, knee, hip, wrist, ankle. Let me bring that a little forward. That's better. So left hand to the underside of the right ribs, self-adjust. If it's too much on the neck, you can turn the head up and down. Inhale, look down, slowly lower. Exhale, cow. Inhale, exhale, cat. Slow and controlled. Now, I want you to come back into Upavishta Konasana, seated wide angle. Keep your blocks close by. Sitting with the legs wide apart, just double checking, pulling that butt flesh back and out. So I want to do some spine rotation. I'm a big fan, folks, of whenever you do the movement work is to get the spine moving in all kinds of directions. So I have to preface this with, because it's a type of a rotation, those of you with osteoporosis and those of you who have been told for back spine or postural deviations to be careful with twisting, etc. I'm going to demonstrate one way for the rest of us, and then I'll demonstrate for you, okay? So this is what we're going to be doing here. I'm coming into a lateral flexion and then a spine extension, a lateral flexion, spine flexion. It's called a Sufi grind. So you can make it really big like this. Or for those of you with the issues, I'm going to bring the blocks closer and make this just a small movement of the pelvic bowl. It's really kind of nice to do it small as well. And then we're going to reverse direction. You make it as big, small as you like. Sufi grind. The whole time when we're sitting in Upavishta Konasana, we're working on the Muladhara chakra. Come back to center. And this is our root chakra. This is where we hold our security issues, right? Just wanted to make sure that was okay. Security issues like finances, the roof over your head, your health, your family. You might find that you have a limitation in your walking, in your gait. Want to open you up through all of this area. Now from here, we're going to bring the legs toward each other. Again, shake it out. I'm going to back up so you can see. Shake, shake, shake. And I'm going to set up my yoga bolster along with a block. So let me just see here. Now this block, you know what? I think I'm going to demonstrate this on the other side because of the little banner there. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so this block is going to be for those of you with hypertension, medicated or not, GERD and vertigo. I want your head supported because we're going to back bend over this bolster. However, I don't want the block for me, okay? So I'm going to move that out of the way. Now I want to show you 3 ways on how to safely come down onto your backs. So the first way is you're holding on to the back of the thighs and you're forming a C curve of the spine and you roll back. The other way is still holding on to the back of the thighs and you can come on to one elbow at a time. But if you're strong enough, meaning if you have strong abs and a strong back, then you bring the legs out in front, you point, arms out, start your C curve and take your time. Belly button pulled in to come onto your backs. And then open out and just let it happen. So this just feels so delightful. It's just allowing the abdominal organs and intestines to relax. Now, it depends upon how your back handles it. Some of you might appreciate it a bit more on your backs with your knees bent. So you can hold there for a while. To stretch the anterior neck muscles in today's day and age with so much texting and computerizing, we're really flexing these muscles too much. So it gives us an opportunity to relax these as well. And it's equally as good for your thyroid gland located right here. Yes. Now, if you prefer, you can bring your legs straight out and breathe. Just let that body be super heavy into the ground. You could also reposition the feet and come into what's called goddess pose or Supta Baddha Konasana, which is reclining cobblers. Now, for some of you, it might be dicey through here, through the hip flexors and the inner thighs. So you could take your yoga blocks outside of your knees and just let them prop up. And you can even extend the arms up and overhead. Oh, feels great. And breathe. And then to come out of it, rolling over onto your side to slowly come up. Now, I'm supposed to say to you that you're supposed to roll over onto your right. And I'm going to say to you, I don't care which side you roll over onto, it's the side that you're most comfortable with, okay? So now we're going to do one final pose, and this is probably the single most classic restorative yoga posture called legs up the wall, Viparita Karani. So this is where those of you with back issues might need some support. So you put the cushion up against the wall, and we're going to get super friendly with the wall, big time friendly. So I'm going to inch over, and literally I'm hugging the wall here. And I'm going to then swivel and bring the legs up the wall. For me, I'm going to get rid of the cushion and just kind of inch myself closer to the wall. This is going to be a big hamstring stretch for some. Now, Viparita Karani, we don't want to like make the muscles all tense and stuff. You just want them as relaxed as you can handle. Viparita Karani is excellent for hypertension, for depression, and for varicose veins. It is considered an inversion posture, but it is the most tiniest of inversion posture, which is why it's actually suggested for hypertension, whereas other inversion postures with the head below the heart are not suggested. So you can relax your arms down. I'm in a little bit of a tight space, so I'm just going to relax my hands on top of my belly. Close the eyes, and once again, just focus in on your body. Give it a little bit of an internal scan. Just notice any areas that might have been previously tight, that might have opened up now, or have softened a bit. Allowing the body to simply sink deeply into the ground. And expressing gratitude and appreciation toward our bodies for working so hard for us. Gratitude and appreciation for good health. Gratitude and appreciation toward Vegan Knowledge JJ for giving us this platform in order to share our yoga practice with each other. And if you're comfortable doing so, bringing the palms together in front of the heart center. And with every yoga session, I close out by saying, the light and spirit within me honors the light and spirit within you. And this translates into the word namaste. And at the end of each class, we bid each other namaste. So that's what we have for you tonight, folks.
I loved it.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing. I know everybody's in for a treat. I can't wait to really share the replay of this too, because I feel like people are going to watch this over and over because they're going to want to have to rewind it to make sure they get all their poses right, you know, because that was funny when you did the one where you had your back slumped down and said, "Don't do this." I thought, "Oh, there she goes. She's seeing me somehow, even though I'm not on camera." But it was really cool. I'm going to start doing that every day. I like that one. I love that chair session. I still pull that up. The one that
Great. The mobility, the hip mobility. That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. That's really, really great. This is something you bring up, something that's important, I believe, in as far as how often, right? Frequency of doing different types of exercise. So with strength training, right? Weightlifting, bands, tubes, your own body's sense of resistance, etc. It is not suggested to do the same exercises daily. You would not want to do them on consecutive days, but you do want to do them on non-consecutive days. With your cardio, it is actually recommended to vary the cardio. However, because walking is such a activity of daily living and functional movement, of course you can do that daily. You can do technically you can do this type of yoga daily as well. For some people who are very seasoned at yoga, they can daily do, let's say, power yoga or Ashtanga yoga. So I hope that helps some people in how they can go forward with their different approaches to their movement and activity.
your knowledge of all this is just like, it's so intriguing how you just come out with these words. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Well, thank you. And again, my thanks for having me back on. I love coming on the show. So anytime you want, I'm happy to present. And I really appreciate your viewers. And it's always just such a, you and Dawn make it an incredibly lovely experience for me. So thank you so much. Plus you have like the most fun graphics for the thumbnails and stuff.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yes, we got. I got a little. I gave Dawn some competition with her thumbnails this week, right? I was like,
Oh,
I get to do Angela's this time. You got to do it last time with the little hip mobility, right?
you know what you did that like nobody does? You put my logo in. I was like, they got the logo there. Thank you.
Yeah, it
The
was a little
logo.
surprise.
Yeah.
I got to do a what do you call it? A surprise for you, since you did a surprise for us for the announcement, right? I don't know why people don't do that. Do you
Don't do what?
put the logo in?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It might be. I don't know if it's challenging. More challenging because I don't know how to create those thumbnails. So I don't know.
Well, you know what? You have enough going on with your stuff. I don't think you need to do any thumbnails anyway. you you got a like a lot on your, you know, on your agenda now, especially with these new things you're doing, and you do a bunch of videos and you're always out there publishing posts and things, and I love the way you present it. Like you do, like you put the picture and you announce and the person you're going to be on. I'm really impressed with how you do that. You really make it clear that they're, you know, gonna, I mean, mute Dawn. I don't think she realized her camera was on, or her mute.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
I thought you were shuffling.
Well, you gals do a really great job. So thank you ever so much again.
Well, we're so thankful that you came on here, and you know, you join us, and anytime, you know, anytime you got something to share, or anytime you have a new workout you want to show everyone on here, I love having you on. I'm like,
Thank
I'm
you so
jealous
much.
of Dr. Harrington. Now we want a weekly show.
Thank you
When
so
I get to
much.
be as big as him, then I'll hit you up, right?
Okay. Thank you again.
I start making some money at some point, right?
Let's do it, girl.
There we go.
There
Uh-oh,
you
what
go. That's
happened there?
nice. Thank
Now we're
you.
all together. We're all
That's
together
cool.
again. The star has
Yay.
come back into the screen.
I like your cap. It's good
Oh
merch
my,
for you. It's good merch.
Yeah, I like
thank
that
you.
too.
That's fun.
Thank you.
Where did we
Yeah.
get that made somewhere? I remember.
Was it Vista Print
Maybe, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
or Zazzle? No,
One
I
of
think
the
it was Vista Print.
I forgot that they do merch also over at Vistaprint. Because I
Mm-hmm.
used to use them for my business cards. I forgot that they do merch. It's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's where we got it.
Cool. So anything that I really enjoyed that session. I thought it was very relaxing, and like you said, it wasn't like these super hard stretches that I wasn't going to be able to do as a
Oh, yeah.
beginning yoga person. So it was really cool, and I want to
Good.
thank you for taking the time and explaining everything, because I feel like that is one of the things I love about watching your videos, is that you're not just telling us to go and do something, you actually say why to do it, and I love that. And
Good.
so, and the announcements were brilliant. What else do you want to tell us as like your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts is just for people to understand, to have some patience with themselves when it comes to exercise and movement, to understand that wherever they are, that's where they're going to get, that's where they're going to start. And if you can accept where you're at, you're going to be much better off that way, because then you can actually enjoy the process, because this stuff can be just a lot of fun. You know, it brings out the kid in me. I mean, I'm very serious about the work, but ultimately I'm having a blast.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can tell that too. Like you can tell when somebody's really passionate and loves what they do, and not like, oh, I got to log on here and I got to tell these people how to do a yoga session. You're like
Right.
into it.
Yeah, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. And so that's what I want people to understand, is if you're dealing with any kind of physical challenges, that just have self-patience.
Mm-hmm.
We
That's it. That's all they can do.
just allow for not being fabulous at it. That's okay. You want to be safe at it,
Right.
and that will open up to being fabulous at it. It really will.
I think that message you said
That's
was even
awesome.
like broader than working out, about enjoying, the process and enjoying the learning. Because I think we try to rush ourselves sometimes, whether it comes to working out or getting where we need to go, and we forget to like enjoy along the way, right?
Doesn't that happen also with people with weight loss?
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
it's 2 weeks. I haven't lost 10 pounds.
I
So
always tell people to get off the scale sometimes.
Right.
Like, don't weigh yourself every single day, right? That's
yeah,
probably the worst
no,
thing,
I
because you're
think
going to
that,
go up and down. Like, I don't ever remember, like, not being frustrated when I paid too close of attention to sometimes
oh,
the numbers. Like,
listen, ladies, you don't know. 30 something years ago, when I was living in Brooklyn and I was weighing myself, I don't know how many times a day. One day, and I lived on the ground floor. One day I went to the front door, opened the door, took the scale, and I hurled it out into the street. No kidding.
yeah, it's about
Oh
like
my God.
feeling good, right? Like, you can start to feel good. Like, you know what? Get rid of that thing, huh?
Yeah, it's like my how I feel about
Can't
myself.
you picture it?
Oh, I mean, I hurled it, and it shattered. Okay, and because I was angry at that thing, and meanwhile, it's because I put so much of my self-worth into that thing, and the number that was on that thing was
Right.
determining my self-confidence, my peace of mind, and that's why I just was like, really, you got to go. Because
Right.
I was addicted, like, to getting on that scale, right?
Mhm.
Dr. Doug Lisle calls us scale monkeys when we do that. We're jumping up and down off the scale, and I mean, come on, it's going to reflect the water change, the stool in your system, all of it, right? And this varies all day long, and so I'm just like, I
Absolutely.
weigh myself probably. I'm going to say once a month, maybe. I weigh myself just to have an idea. And there's never any major fluctuation. It might be up one, down one. It doesn't matter, because I know that's really only indicative of then and there.
Right.
What are
Yeah.
you what are you having to eat this evening, or did you already?
Oh, I'm gonna have some broccoli and beans with greens, and some pineapple.
Ooh, you got the
Yeah, sounds
pineapple.
good.
All I had today was so far was grapes, and I had a couple of garbanzo beans, but I'm gonna have some beans and I think rice, and
There you go.
I don't know about the rice, but maybe I'm gonna have beans in a salad. I know that much.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes the starch is really necessary. And I'm
Yeah.
learning more and more as I get older. I need to starchier stuff because my activity level is actually at times higher than when I was younger. So it's just like, I think I need just a little more of that starch.
A
So
little more,
for
a
me,
little stuff.
Right, right.
yeah, for me, I might grab bananas because
Mhm.
bananas is a starchy veggie, I
Yeah.
mean, a starchy fruit. So, or have, let's say, a plantain,
Hmm.
and
Right.
that's heavy on the
How
starch.
are plantains? I've never had a plantain. I don't think I've ever had one.
I have
It's
them
in the
raw.
banana family.
Yeah, I have them raw. So I
Okay.
have them when they're super, super brown, the peel, and they're soft, and they're like having pure sugar. It's just, they are
Mhm.
amazing, amazing. If you come from the raw vegan background, you would love ripe plantains,
Yeah, that sounds. And
ripe yellow ones, the ripe yellow plantains.
can you, like, I know people talk about this when you do yoga, is that a way that you're building muscle, like from stretching too?
Well,
Hmm.
you're elongating the muscle, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
So you're putting the muscle through another range of motion, which is important because when I'm on it, I'm consider it this way, this type of yoga, because you could do power yoga and Ashtanga, and that's actually strength building also, okay? Because you're doing arm balances and stuff like that. So with this kind of yoga, what you're taking care of is the stretchability, right, of the muscle. And what is the most important phase of strength training, Dawn? Would you say what's the most important phase of the strength training?
Um, I would go with repetition
Okay, okay,
more
and
so than the amount of weight that you have.
okay. That's a really good point. Now I'm going to take that concept and I'm going to extend it further. How I see it as the most important aspect of strength training is the downtime, is the time when
Ah,
you're doing the stretching, because this is when you let the muscle recuperate and
okay.
rebuild fibers, right? So that's why I like to impress upon people, you need downtime, you need the stretch time. If you're just slamming on the weights and just slamming on you're constantly jogging, you're not stretching out, you're going to just create wear and tear to the muscles and to the joints. So that's why it's so important to balance out all of this. And remember, I was talking about the parasympathetic nervous system in the beginning. There are times I'll hit the yoga mat and I will be pissed off about something, but I always get off that mat and I'm not ready to, pounce on anyone.
Right. Oh, thank you. Farah said thank you for sharing. She really appreciated and enjoyed this session,
Oh,
and
thank you.
appreciate and enjoy this.
Awesome,
And
Farah.
Florence said this was great. We'll do the replay when you talked about your center of safety and stability.
Mm.
Yeah, I know. That's a
Thanks
good
for coming,
idea. I
Farah.
didn't think of that. And Neo,
Oh, look
oh,
at
you're
that
so
one.
good.
Who is that?
This is Neo,
Gorgeous.
and Menu is here. She was doing yoga with you too. They were both
Oh,
stretching out. I think I
thank
sent
you.
you a picture of her when we first. Remember, we first
Yes,
of him. He was
yes.
laying on the bed and he was doing some kind of like sitting up weird, trying to groom himself. I think, and I was like, "Look, Neo's ready for yoga." But
The
what
Yeah.
great
if I had
guy.
sent you a fake thumbnail and had him on it, right?
I know. He's a beautiful cat.
He's a good.
Thank you.
Well, he's not good. I won't say, but he's a beautiful cat.
Yeah, he's a
He's in
terror.
that
He's a little
little
badass, but we
stage
love
right
him.
now,
He's a
right?
little badass. I love it.
Yeah, he's doing. He don't know what he wants to get into.
Listen, I had to give my cat some medication yesterday, and I had to come
Ooh.
like up from the side.
Oh, I hope you didn't get scratched.
Well, the thing is that I got it. I got it in him. right?
Oh,
Oh, good.
you outsmarted a cat? Like, that is amazing.
But he went flying, and you know what he did? It was like this old movie. It was like OK Corral or Gun something with Wyatt Earp, and my cat was circling me. He was circling me, and he's looking at me like, oh, I'm gonna get you. And he just kept circling me. And I just thought, why do I feel like I'm in the OK Corral here with Wyatt Earp? He's ready to pull out the guns on me here, you know? And
Right.
it was absolutely, I mean, it's amazing how individual their personalities are, right?
It really is.
They are. Our two cats are like night and day. That's so funny you said that.
Yeah, that's what
And
I
I
had
think
too.
that should be like, if you're really thinking about, that's one of the things that I think about now, and it projects me into like why I'm so glad I don't eat animals, because I assume that's the way with all animals. You don't think of it when you're in the earlier, well, I didn't when I was in the earlier part of my life, about how animals all have each their own personalities. It's not going to be just cats that would be like
Right,
that. Oh,
exactly.
Florence, I mean,
Absolutely.
Florence said she's into pomegranates. I haven't. I'm like so like fruit boring over
I
here.
don't even know how to eat them. And I live in Miami
It's
Beach.
fun to take them apart. I need to learn that too. I'm going to YouTube that.
I know, right? If you find one, a good one, send it to me, please.
Farah said, "You're welcome, Dawn, and thank you for the invite." Yes, I will. Well, maybe Florence should make us a video, right?
It's nice to see how much.
Pomegranate.
Say that again.
I'm going to have Florence make me a video. The pomegranate.
You know who has one,
Right.
Florence? You know who has one is Shada
Who?
Soleimani.
Okay.
Shada Soleimani, she has one where she breaks open a pomegranate.
Oh,
Wow, we need to watch that one.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, me too. I need to watch that.
well, thank you so much.
Well,
This
thank
was
you,
really fun.
ladies.
I feel like we're just sitting here
Thank
talking on the
you.
phone, right? Like we're just hanging out. I love it.
Full
Well,
of blessings.
thank you
We had a-
so much. And until next time, just be well and keep going on, and go forth and conquer, the two of you, because I think you're just doing great.
Oh,
Thank you, and you as well, babe. You as well.
Congratulations, and don't forget, check out Angela's link. We're gonna put that after the show like comes up. It takes a few minutes, and then I'll link it in the description. Oh goodness, guys, come on. Cats started fighting. They both wanted the window at the same time.
Yeah, he's new. He's a new kid on the block, but he tries to take over. And like, I don't care how long you've been here. This is my turf now. It's like he bullies her. But sometimes, some days she takes it. Some days she stands up to him. It depends on the mood she's in. She's like an 84-year-old cat. So,
how old is she in reality?
in human year, she will be 12 this year.
Okay.
In November.
So he's like the rambunctious kid, and she's like, "Please, just calm down, leave me alone." But yeah, I'm so happy that you are that you have this opportunity, and that you shared with us here on this live stream everything that's going on with you about your new program on your website. I mean, on your YouTube, and then also your new weekly sessions or program that you're doing with Dr. Harrington, Vegan Primary Care. Check that out. And please, support Angela. Go over there, click and like and subscribe to her YouTube. Check out her. She's got so many educational workout videos, and she has just a lot of content that you'll just be in there binging it out forever. There's a lot of good stuff on there. And then
they're binge worthy.
Thank you.
You can also get personalized help, you were saying too, now for the 10-minute session. So that's exciting. And I just love how passionate you are about everything. And it makes, us want to, make sure that we put you out there, and then everybody can see that passion, and hopefully they'll reward you with their business and support and subscribes and all that good stuff.
Thank you so much. And may they need to come and subscribe to you folks also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you coming on, and are thankful.
And I am as well. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Farah, Florence, thank you.
Thank you, Florence. Thank you, Farah.
Okay.
You want me to do the poem, Jen?
Our co-host, Dawn.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, guys.
Go check out her channel too.
Thank you, JJ.
Thank you. All right, ladies, enjoy your evening. If we can become a plant-based nation, we could get off all our medication. We want to keep doing things like we were, donating to organizations claiming to fight for a cure. But the cure is already in front of our eyes, and it's time for us to wake up and realize. We may not want to believe we have control. It's easier for most of us to metaphorically live in a hole. So many stories of how being plant-based has reversed disease. It's funny that we can't stop eating meat with ease. We want to continue to look for the answer, yet people have reversed even cancer. I think finally as a nation, it's time to give people the truthful information. Your hard-earned money is what you pay to take your medicine day after day. Sadly, there's a lot of money being made in people staying sick. This has to finally make something click. We have to have this revelation that a cure means not selling medication. There's so many myths and misconceptions, but it's eye-opening once you make the connections. That meat and dairy are causing insulin resistance, it's not sugar and carbs causing diabetes, for instance. Scientifically, our bodies are not set up like carnivores. We model those who eat plants. If you can heal, why not give it a chance? You follow your car's owner's manual for what gas it takes, yet for our bodies without care, we feed it steaks. That's like giving an unleaded car diesel to drink. Our bodies will reject it, don't you think? I'm not here to tell you what to do, but to be a voice, that when it comes to your health, you have the choice. With just a few adjustments to your diet, I can help if you just want to try it. I've found testimonials that people have reversed every ailment and disease by simply eliminating meat, eggs, milk, and cheese. There's a tasty substitute for all the things you already eat. You can get all your nutrients without eating meat. Save the animals, the environment, and yourself just by making a few different selections off the grocery store shelf. It's never too late. I've seen it work at all age ranges. It's my passion, and I can't wait to hear about your positive health changes. It's time for the world to wake up and heal, and you can start with your very next meal.